Chosen one, take a deep breath and pause for a moment. What you are about to hear is no coincidence. This message has been divinely orchestrated just for you. God, in His infinite wisdom, has placed this message in your path at this exact moment because He knows that you are ready to hear it. The time for waiting is over. The time for breakthrough is upon you. You've been through a journey that has shaped you, prepared you. And now, as you listen to these words, understand that this is a moment that will shift your life in ways you can't yet imagine. God has been working behind the scenes, setting everything up for the perfect time. This isn't just a random piece of encouragement or a passing moment. This is the moment when God's plan is becoming clearer. He has been quietly preparing you for something magnificent, and the veil of silence that has surrounded you is about to be lifted. What once seemed unclear, what once felt like endless waiting, is about to make perfect sense. The waiting period that has felt like a pause in your life is actually the divine setup for something bigger, something far greater than what you could have imagined. God is preparing you for a breakthrough. The silence and waiting you've experienced were not in vain. They were never meant to discourage you or make you feel abandoned. No, these periods of silence were God's strategic way of positioning you, aligning you with the next chapter of your journey. You have been walking through seasons of preparation, and now God is about to reveal the next steps with clarity and purpose. It might have felt like you were left in the dark, like the promises God made to you were being delayed or even forgotten. But in reality, this was never a delay. It was divine timing. What you perceived as silence was God's way of protecting you and preparing your heart and spirit for the breakthroughs that are now ready to unfold. The quietness you experienced was a divine orchestration, a setup for your next steps. Your breakthrough isn't just coming, it's already here, and it's about to be revealed in a way that will make everything you've endured worth it. This moment isn't just another message. It's the shift you've been waiting for. This is the divine moment where the promises of God are no longer just a distant hope, but a tangible reality. Everything is aligning. The silence is breaking. The wait is over. Your breakthrough is imminent, and when it comes, it will be undeniable. You've been through the fire, and now it's time to step into the fulfillment of God's promises. The shift you've been waiting for is on the horizon, and it will exceed your expectations. So what does this mean for you right now? It means that God is working in the background, making everything ready for your breakthrough. Even in the moments when you couldn't see His hand at work, He was moving in ways you couldn't have imagined. He was aligning people, circumstances, and opportunities, preparing the perfect time for your breakthrough to manifest. You may not have seen the full picture before, but now everything is coming into focus. God hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't abandoned you. In fact, He's been preparing you for something bigger than you can fully comprehend. This time of waiting, the silence you've experienced has been for your benefit. It's been a time of growth, a time of purification, and a time of building your faith. It's been a time of deepening your trust in God, even when you didn't have all the answers. Now the time has come for the fulfillment of those promises. Get ready for a shift. Get ready for clarity. Get ready for the breakthrough that is going to change everything. This is your moment, and God is about to show you just how deeply He has been involved in your life, working behind the scenes to bring you to this point. The waiting is over, and the fulfillment of your purpose is at hand. You are about to step into a new season, one filled with purpose, abundance, and the manifestation of God's promises. Trust the process, because God has been working. And now, you are about to see the fruit of your waiting and your faithfulness. You are on the verge of something incredible, and it's all by God's design. Don't look back. Step forward with confidence, knowing that this is the moment that will change everything for you. The silence is over, and your breakthrough is here. It's time to walk in the fullness of what God has prepared for you. God's silence can often be misunderstood, especially when we feel distant or overlooked. Silence, however, is not a sign of abandonment. It's a period of divine preparation. When God is silent, it doesn't mean He has forgotten about you or that He has turned away from you. In fact, it's often during these times that God is doing some of His most important work in your life. Just as a sculptor works quietly with their tools, shaping a block of stone into a masterpiece, God is quietly working in your heart, shaping your character, and aligning your steps for the next phase of your journey. Silence doesn't mean that God is not present. It means He is working behind the scenes, preparing you for something greater. Think of it as a pause before the breakthrough. Just as a seed is hidden in the soil before it breaks through the earth to grow into a plant, you are in a season of hidden growth. This is a time when God is aligning everything in His perfect timing. The silence is a protective covering, a moment when God is making sure that when the right moment comes, you will be fully prepared to step into the fullness of His plan for your life. During times of silence, it's easy to feel as though God is distant or inattentive. You might wonder why, after all your prayers, the answers still seem to be delayed or absent. But God's silence isn't an absence of His presence. It's a time when He is preparing you in ways you may not be able to see at the moment. Imagine a potter at his wheel spinning clay into a beautiful vessel. While the potter works, the clay seems to simply spin in place, undergoing no visible transformation. Yet beneath the surface, the clay is being shaped, stretched, and molded into its final form. Similarly, God is shaping and molding you in the silence, preparing you for the season ahead. This process can be difficult, especially when you are waiting for the breakthrough. But in this waiting, God is fine-tuning your spirit. He is purifying your heart, growing your patience, and deepening your trust in Him. The silence is God's way of ensuring that you are prepared to step into His greater plans for you. He knows what lies ahead, and He knows that in order for you to fulfill the calling He has placed on your life, you must be equipped, strengthened, and refined. It's not about punishment or rejection. It's about divine preparation. As you wait in the silence, know that God is aligning everything in perfect timing. There may be moments when you feel like everything is at a standstill, but in reality, God is working in the unseen, preparing you for a time when His plans will unfold in your life. Just like a seed in the soil, unseen and unnoticed, the roots are growing deep, and the plant is getting ready to break through the surface. And when it does, it will be stronger and more rooted than it could have been if it had been rushed into the light too early. God's silence also allows you to grow in areas that might not be possible if everything were happening at once. Just like a seed needs time to develop its roots before it can bloom, you need time to develop spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. During this time, God is working to build your resilience, your trust, and your ability to handle the blessings and responsibilities that are coming. These qualities cannot be rushed. God's timing is perfect, and His silence is a vital part of that timing. Consider the story of Joseph in the Bible. Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers, thrown into prison, and left in isolation. It appeared that his dreams and promises from God would never be realized. But through each painful season of waiting and silence, God was preparing him. He was growing in wisdom, in character, and in trust in God's sovereignty. When the time came, Joseph was ready to step into his destiny and fulfill the purpose God had for him. His time of silence and suffering was not wasted. It was the very thing that prepared him for the position of power he would later hold. Your current season of silence is no different. God is preparing you, refining you, and strengthening you for the plans He has for you. It may not feel like it right now, but every moment of silence is being used to shape you into the person who will be able to walk confidently into the calling God has for you. It's a season of growth, even though it may seem like nothing is happening. In reality, everything is happening according to God's perfect plan. In moments of silence, God often teaches us to trust Him more deeply. It's easy to trust God when things are going well, when answers are coming quickly, and when we can see the path ahead clearly. But God wants to deepen our trust by teaching us to rely on Him, even when we don't have all the answers. He wants to strengthen our faith by leading us through seasons where we must trust that He is working behind the scenes, even when we cannot see or feel His presence. This is the nature of the silence we experience with God. It's a sacred space of trust and growth. It's in this place that we learn to surrender our plans, our timelines, and our understanding of how things should unfold. We learn that God's timing is not the same as ours, but His timing is always perfect. And when the time comes for the breakthrough, when the season of silence ends, you will be more than ready to step into the fullness of what God has prepared for you. Just like the plant that pushes through the soil after months of hidden growth, you will emerge from this season of silence with greater strength, greater clarity, and a deeper understanding of God's purpose for your life. God is not withholding from you. He is not ignoring you. He is preparing you. And in His perfect timing, you will see the fruit of your waiting. In Psalm 31:20, we see a beautiful reminder of God's protective silence. The psalmist writes, "You shall hide them in the secret of your presence from the pride of man. You shall keep them secretly in a pavilion from the strife of tongues." This scripture paints a picture of God hiding us in His presence to protect us from the destructive forces around us. In the quiet and stillness, God is keeping us safe and refining us. God hides us, not because we are unimportant, but because we are priceless in His eyes. Just as a precious jewel is kept in a safe place until it's time to reveal it, God keeps us hidden in His presence, shielding us from harm. In the same way that a child is kept in the care of their parents while they grow, God's silence is His way of nurturing us and protecting us until we are fully ready for what He has in store. It is in the silence that we grow stronger, wiser, and more attuned to God's voice. And when the time is right, He will bring us into the light, prepared and equipped to fulfill our divine purpose. As we wait in the silence, it can sometimes feel like God has forgotten us. We may feel overlooked or ignored, unsure of why God is withholding answers or progress in our lives. But the truth is, God's silence is not a sign of neglect. It is a part of His divine plan to prepare us for something far greater. It is a season of refinement, protection, and growth. When God hides us, He is not being distant or absent. Instead, He is doing the work in us that we cannot do for ourselves. Just like a seed must be buried in the ground, unseen and hidden. For a time, God is allowing us to go through seasons of growth and preparation in the secret place. During this time, He is strengthening our faith, building our character, and equipping us for the future He has ordained. Think about the way a jeweler works with precious gems. A diamond, for example, is hidden in rough rock, and it takes time, care, and precision to bring out its beauty. Similarly, God is carefully shaping and polishing us in His presence, working to bring out the brilliance and beauty He has placed within us. It's not always comfortable. The cutting, the refining, and the shaping can be painful at times. But this is part of the process that prepares us to shine for His glory when the time is right. God knows that if He were to release us too soon, we might not be ready for the blessings He has prepared for us. Just like a tree that grows in secret before it bears fruit, we are being nurtured in the hidden places where God is developing us into the person we need to be to carry His calling. This hidden season is not a wasted season. In fact, it is during this time that God is doing some of His most important work in us. As we sit in the silence, God is teaching us valuable lessons. He is teaching us to trust in His timing, to rely on His provision, and to be content with the process. Silence can be uncomfortable, but it is in this discomfort that we are refined. Our faith is strengthened, and our trust in God deepens. It is in the quiet places that we learn to hear God's voice more clearly and to discern His will for our lives. When the time is right, God will bring us into the light. The silence will break, and we will step into the fullness of His purpose for our lives. But until that time comes, we must learn to wait with patience, knowing that God is at work behind the scenes. Just like a plant that is nurtured in secret before it blooms, we are being prepared in secret for the season of fruitfulness that is ahead. This process is not just about us. It is about God's glory. When God brings us into the light, it will be a testimony of His faithfulness, His timing, and His love. The world will see that what was once hidden is now revealed, and they will see the hand of God at work in our lives. It will be a testimony of God's perfect timing and His ability to turn every trial, every season of silence into something beautiful. So, if you find yourself in a season of silence right now, know that you are not forgotten. You are not being overlooked. You are being prepared. God is working in you, refining you and shaping you for the future He has planned for you. Trust in the process and trust in God's timing. The silence will not last forever, and when it ends, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and ready to step into the fullness of your divine purpose. The world may not see it now, but in the secret place, God is preparing you to shine for His glory. And when the time is right, you will be revealed, just as God has always intended. During the silence, God is working on multiple levels of transformation. He is refining your spirit, your emotions, and even your physical being. Just as gold is purified by fire, the silence is a time for you to be refined. God is working within you, preparing you to handle the greatness that is coming. This transformation is not just spiritual, it touches every part of your being. Your heart is being softened, your mind is being renewed, and your strength is being built up. Emotionally, God is helping you grow in resilience and wisdom. You may have gone through seasons of hurt, disappointment, or uncertainty, but in this silence, He is healing you and teaching you how to walk in peace, no matter the circumstances. Spiritually, God is deepening your relationship with Him, teaching you how to trust Him in the quiet moments when you don't have all the answers. And physically, He is preparing you to carry the weight of the blessings He is about to release. Just as a runner trains in silence before a race, God is preparing you for the victory He is about to bring into your life. This transformation process isn't easy. It can feel like you're stuck or like nothing is happening. But trust that in the silence, God is doing deep work in you. He's removing distractions, refining your character, and making sure that when the breakthrough comes, you are spiritually, emotionally, and physically prepared for the greatness He has in store. Keep trusting the process, knowing that this quiet season is leading you to something extraordinary. The silence will end, and when it does, you will be fully ready to step into the destiny God has been preparing you for all along. During this period of silence, you may feel like you are in limbo, like nothing is moving forward or happening in your life. But let me reassure you, Even in the stillness, God is working on your behalf. Just like a tree grows in secret before bearing fruit, your transformation is happening in the hidden places where it is not immediately visible. You may not see it, but deep within, change is taking place. Your faith is being strengthened. Your spirit is being refined, and your character is being developed to handle the blessings and challenges that lie ahead. Much like a goldsmith refines gold by putting it through the fire, God is purifying you through the trials and challenges of this season. The heat of life's difficulties may feel intense, but it is through these challenges that you are being refined. God is making sure that you are prepared for the greatness He is preparing for you. This season may be uncomfortable, but it is necessary for your growth. It is shaping you into someone who can handle what is coming next. It is preparing you to be a vessel that can carry the blessings and responsibility that God will soon entrust you with. Your heart is being softened, your mind is being renewed, and your emotions are being healed. Perhaps you've gone through seasons of hurt and disappointment, and the silence feels like a continuation of that pain. But God is using this time to heal you. He is gently restoring what has been broken, mending the pieces of your heart, and teaching you how to walk in peace, regardless of your circumstances. He's teaching you how to trust in Him when you don't have all the answers, when you can't see the full picture, and when you don't understand why things are happening the way they are. Emotionally, this time is strengthening you. The struggles you faced in the past have not been in vain. They have been preparing you for the emotional strength you will need to face what is ahead. God is teaching you how to be resilient, to bounce back from the challenges life throws at you, and to remain steadfast in your faith. Your emotional capacity is growing, and God is developing in you the strength to endure, to trust, and to hope no matter what is happening around you. Spiritually, God is drawing you closer to Himself. In the silence, you are learning to rely on God's presence even when you don't have the answers. You are learning to trust in His timing, to believe in His promises, and to rest in His faithfulness. This is a time of deepening your relationship with God, of allowing Him to renew your spirit and guide your steps. The silence is not a void, it is a space where God is cultivating a deeper intimacy with you. He is teaching you to hear His voice more clearly, to trust His lead, and to step out in faith when He calls. Physically, God is preparing you to carry the blessings He is about to release into your life. Just as an athlete trains for a race, your body is being conditioned to handle the victory that is coming. You may feel tired, drained, or worn out. But in this season, God is strengthening you physically and emotionally, preparing you to take on the responsibilities that come with the blessings He has promised you. Your physical health, strength, and stamina are being restored so that you can stand strong when the breakthrough comes. This transformation process may not always be easy. There will be days when you feel stuck, frustrated, or like you're not making any progress. But remember, God's work in you is deep and lasting. He is refining you, preparing you, and aligning you for what's to come. He is removing distractions, healing past wounds, and teaching you valuable lessons that will help you thrive in the future. Though the silence may seem endless, it is leading you to a place of great purpose. So, when the silence finally ends and the breakthrough comes, you will be fully ready. You will be spiritually, emotionally, and physically prepared to step into the fullness of your destiny. God is using this quiet season to prepare you for the greatness He is about to release. Trust the process. Trust that the silence is not wasted. It is divine preparation. The breakthrough is coming, and when it does, you will be ready to step into the fullness of God's plan for your life. Keep holding on. The silence will soon break, and you will step into the purpose, the blessings, and the destiny that God has been preparing you for. The wait will have been worth it. You will look back and see that every moment in the silence, every lesson learned, and every trial endured was part of the divine setup for what is coming. The best is yet to come, and you are being made ready to receive it. Trust the process, because God is not done with you yet. Your breakthrough is on the horizon, and when it comes, it will be far beyond anything you ever imagined. Psalm 23:5 declares, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." This powerful scripture serves as a reminder that God's blessing is not just about personal success. It is a public declaration of His favor on your life. When God sets a table for you, He is not merely providing for your needs in private. He is displaying His glory and favor for everyone to see. The table represents a place of abundance, nourishment, and peace that God has prepared for you, and it is set before your enemies. These enemies may be those who doubted you, overlooked you, or even worked against you, but God's promise is clear. He will bless you publicly, and in doing so, He will make it undeniable that His hand has been with you all along. This is not just about the blessings in your life. It's about the glory God receives when those who doubted you see that His favor was upon you the entire time. When God prepares a table before you in the presence of your enemies, it is not just a symbolic gesture of provision. It is a powerful declaration that no matter how much opposition you faced, God's favor will overshadow all negativity and doubt. Think about a table in a banquet hall. It's not a place of shame, but a place of honor. When God sets a table before you, He is honoring you, elevating you, and making a public statement about His love and favor over your life. This table prepared by God is a place where all your needs are met, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. It is abundant, lavish, and overflowing. It is an invitation to feast in peace, joy, and contentment, regardless of what the enemy or others may say or do. For those who tried to hold you back or diminish your value, this moment will serve as a living testimony to the power of God to elevate you beyond human understanding. As God prepares this table, it is also a moment of divine alignment. It's the recognition that everything you've been through, the trials, the setbacks, the moments when you thought you were alone, have all been part of God's plan to bring you to this very point. The enemies who once doubted you, mocked you, or thought you would fail will be forced to witness the fullness of God's plan coming to fruition in your life. They will see that despite their attempts to belittle or discourage you, God's will is greater and His timing is perfect. In the eyes of your enemies, they may have expected you to remain stuck, lost in the shadows, or defeated by life's challenges. But God has a different plan. He uses the silence, the waiting, and the hard times to refine you, to shape your character, and to prepare you for a moment of elevation and restoration that no one can deny. When God sets this table for you, it is not just about fulfilling your desires. It is about demonstrating His sovereign power and faithfulness. This is the time when those who once looked down on you or thought you would never make it will see that God's hand was with you all along. The same people who doubted your potential will have to recognize that it was never about your strength or ability alone. It was about God's favor, His provision, and His plan for your life. And as you sit at this table of blessing, you will do so in peace, knowing that God has orchestrated every detail of your journey. More than just proving others wrong, this moment serves to bring glory to God. His favor on your life is a testament to His goodness, His mercy, and His unchanging love. It is a declaration to the world that no matter how hard the road was, God never left your side. Every moment of struggle, every tear, every setback has only been part of the preparation for this moment of triumph. God's plan was always in motion, even when you couldn't see it, and He will use your success to point others back to Him. As you sit at this table, remember that it is not just for your enjoyment. It is a platform for God's glory. This table is a place where others will see your transformation and the manifestation of God's promises in your life. When they witness your success, they will understand that it is not by your power, but by God's grace. This is the season of vindication, the season where God lifts you up publicly and shows the world His favor on your life. God's favor is not a fleeting thing. It is not something that can be taken away by the opinions of others or by the circumstances around you. It is a permanent mark of His presence and blessing. When God prepares a table for you, it is a declaration that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. The table is not just for you to enjoy, it's for others to witness the power of God working in your life. Those who doubted you will now have to stand witness to the goodness and favor of God. And as you sit at the table God has prepared for you, take a moment to reflect on the journey it took to get there. Recognize the moments when you thought you were at the end, but God made a way. Appreciate the moments of silence, the waiting, and the preparation, because they were all part of the process that brought you to this point of divine elevation. You are not sitting at this table by accident. You are sitting there because God has carefully orchestrated every step of your journey. Now, you get to feast in the presence of those who once doubted you, and this table will be a testament to the faithfulness of God in your life. The moment God sets the table for you, in front of your enemies, those who doubted, mocked, or underestimated you will have no choice but to witness your success. This is not just a moment of personal victory. It is a public display of God's power, His favor, and His faithfulness. Your enemies will be forced to acknowledge what they once refused to believe. They may have thought you were finished, overlooked, or forgotten, but now they will see that God had a plan all along. This is the moment when the world will see that God has been working behind the scenes, setting things in motion and preparing you for something greater. Just as Pharaoh and his court had to witness God's favor on Joseph, just as Goliath had to watch David rise up and defeat him, your enemies will watch you step into your God-ordained destiny. They will see the favor of God on display, and they will know that God's hand has been with you all along. As you sit at the table God has prepared for you, there is no need for bitterness or anger toward those who doubted or mistreated you. God has designed this moment not for revenge, but for divine vindication. Your enemies are not there to participate in your success, but to witness it. They are part of the backdrop that highlights God's faithfulness and the transformation He has done in your life. This moment is about God getting the glory, not you seeking to prove something to those who once doubted you. When Joseph was elevated in Egypt, it wasn't just a promotion. It was God's answer to the years of mistreatment, betrayal, and false accusations he had endured. His brothers, who had sold him into slavery, had to come to him for food during a famine. The very people who had cast him aside were now forced to recognize that the favor of God had been upon him all along. They had no choice but to acknowledge God's hand on Joseph's life. Your moment of vindication is similar. The people who doubted you, criticized you, or overlooked you will soon realize that they were part of the process that brought you to where you are now. This moment of public recognition is not just for you, it is for them. God is using your success to show the world that His promises never fail. When your enemies see you step into the destiny God has prepared for you, they will understand that what was meant to break you only served to strengthen you. They will see that God's plan for your life was always greater than their opinions or their attempts to hold you back. And this revelation will be a testimony to others who may be struggling, wondering if they too are forgotten or overlooked by God. You are stepping into a new season, a season of favor, success, and divine recognition. Those who once mocked you will now witness you walking in your calling, fulfilling the purpose that God has placed in your life. They will see your growth, your peace, and your success, and they will know that it was God who did this in your life. They will understand that the favor of God cannot be denied, and it cannot be manipulated by human hands. This moment is not just for you to shine, but for God's glory to shine through you. Your enemies, the ones who thought they had the power to define your worth, will now be forced to acknowledge that God's hand has been with you all along. Their doubts and criticisms will fall silent in the face of the undeniable blessings God is pouring out on your life. The table that God is preparing for you is not just a table of provision, it is a table of testimony. It is a place where those who once doubted you will see the fruit of your labor, the evidence of your faith, and the power of God's transformative work in your life. In this season of vindication, remember that it is not about gloating or seeking revenge. Your victory is not about proving others wrong. It's about showing the world that God's timing is always perfect. It's about acknowledging that even in the quiet, even in the waiting, God has been working. Your success is not a reflection of your own strength or ability. It is a reflection of God's faithfulness to you. The blessing you are about to receive is not just for you to enjoy, but for others to see and understand the depth of God's love and power. When the moment of vindication comes, remember that it is not for you to boast or to get back at your enemies. It is for you to humbly recognize that God's favor was with you all along, even when it seemed like the world had forgotten you. This is your time to shine, to step into the fullness of the purpose God has called you to, and to walk in the blessings that He has prepared for you. And as you do, remember to give all the glory to God. It is His grace that has brought you to this point, and it is His glory that will continue to shine through you. Just as David stood before Goliath and declared that the battle was not his, but the Lord's, your vindication is not about your own strength. It is about God's power being displayed through your life. The table that God is preparing for you is a place where His favor will be undeniable and His glory will be revealed to all who witness your success. You are stepping into a new season, a season where your enemies will no longer be able to doubt or deny God's work in your life. This is the season where your divine vindication will not only bless you, but it will serve as a witness to the world that God's promises are true and His timing is perfect. You are not just a survivor, you are an overcomer, and this is your moment to rise up and walk in the fullness of your destiny. God has prepared this table for you, and it is time for you to sit down and feast in the presence of your enemies, knowing that God's hand has been with you all along. It's important to understand that this moment of vindication is not about personal revenge or proving others wrong. The purpose of God's vindication is not for you to seek vengeance or to make others feel small. Instead, it is a public demonstration of God's glory. It is a moment for everyone to see that God was always at work in your life, even when it appeared that nothing was happening. His timing is perfect, and He has allowed this moment to unfold for His glory. Vindication is not about you getting even. It's about God receiving the glory for the work He has done in your life. God's favor is the true testimony of His goodness and faithfulness, and it serves as a reminder that His plans are always greater than any human opposition. This moment will be undeniable, and everyone who doubted you will see that God's hand has been with you every step of the way. Your vindication will be a testimony to God's faithfulness and His ability to turn what was meant for harm into something that brings glory to His name. As you step into this moment of vindication, it's essential to remember that this isn't about getting revenge or lording over others. This is a divine demonstration, an exhibition of God's power, faithfulness, and timing in your life. He is using your story to reveal His glory, showing the world that despite the opposition, despite the doubts, and despite the circumstances, He has always had a plan for you. There is a powerful shift happening in your life right now. The very people who once doubted you, mocked you, or misunderstood you are going to be the ones who will witness the proof of God's divine favor in your life. It won't be about proving them wrong. It will be about showing them that God had always been with you. This moment will be undeniable, and it will shine with the brilliance of His glory, reflecting all the ways God has worked behind the scenes, orchestrating your steps and aligning everything according to His will. God's vindication is a reminder that His plans are greater than any opposition you may have faced. He has always been ahead of you, preparing you, strengthening you, and refining you for the moment when the world would see His hand upon your life. The silence, the delays, the hardships you've endured, they were never in vain. They were the foundation upon which your breakthrough is built. And now, as you walk into this new season, you will see that the very struggles that once seemed like setbacks were actually God's ways of positioning you for greater impact. Your vindication is not just for you, it's for God's glory. It serves as a witness to the world that God's favor is real and that His promises are never shaken by human doubt or opposition. The world will see that God was with you through every trial, and that His hand has shaped you, strengthened you, and brought you into this moment of triumph. And just like a shining light in a dark room, the favor of God will be undeniable. Your enemies will see you step into your purpose, and they will know without a doubt that it was God who lifted you up. This moment of vindication is a testimony to God's ability to take what was meant for harm and turn it into something that brings glory to His name. Those who tried to hold you back, to undermine your calling, will witness the power of God's redemptive work in your life. They will see that every setback, every obstacle, every attempt to harm you was used by God to propel you into your divine purpose. They will understand that no weapon formed against you could prosper because God's plans for you were always greater than any opposition the enemy could throw your way. In this moment, you are not just rising for your own sake. You are rising to show the world the power of God's faithfulness. You are becoming a living testimony to His goodness. Every step you take in this new season, every breakthrough you experience will be a sign to those around you that God is still in control, still working miracles, and still fulfilling His promises. You are a walking example of His provision, His protection, and His timing. So, as you enter this new vindication, remember to keep your heart humble. This moment is not for you to gloat or seek revenge. It's for you to give all the glory to God. As He opens doors for you, as He elevates you, make sure to point back to Him. Acknowledge that it was His hand that brought you here. Your victory is not just your own. It is a testimony to the world that God is faithful, that He keeps His promises, and that He is always working for the good of those who love Him. In the midst of this vindication, remember the words of Psalm 23:5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. God has been preparing you for this moment. He has been setting the stage for you to shine. And now, as you step into your purpose, let it be known that this is all for His glory. Let your life be a reflection of His greatness. Every time someone asks you how you've come so far, every time someone wonders how you overcame the challenges, point them to the one who made it all possible. This season of vindication is not just about your success. It's about God showing the world that He is faithful to His word. Your breakthrough is a witness to His power, and your story is a living testimony of His love and His ability to redeem, restore, and elevate His children. So rise up, chosen one, and walk in the full assurance that God's hand is with you, and His glory is being revealed in and through you. When elevation comes, it often arrives quietly at first, but its impact can be profound. Doors open. Circumstances shift. Recognition appears where there was once resistance. In these moments, there is a subtle temptation, not always loud or obvious, to use success as proof. Proof that you were right. Proof that others were wrong. Proof that the waiting, the suffering, the obscurity meant something. But spiritual maturity is revealed not by how high you rise, but by how you carry yourself once you are there. Do not gloat, not because others do not deserve to see justice, but because elevation is not the same as vindication. Gloating turns blessing into comparison, and comparison immediately pulls the focus away from God. The moment success is used to humiliate, even silently, it begins to lose its purity. What was given as grace becomes entangled with ego. What was meant to testify to God's faithfulness starts pointing back to the self. Gloating often comes from unresolved pain. It is the voice that wants acknowledgement for what was endured. That desire is human. But spiritual elevation asks for something higher release. You are not lifted so that you can revisit old wounds and reopen old arguments. You are lifted so that you can leave them behind. Saying "I told you so" may feel momentarily satisfying, but it anchors your future to your past. Humility allows you to move forward unburdened. When God elevates someone, He does not do it to embarrass others. He does it to establish alignment. Elevation is functional, not performative. It places you where your character capacity and calling can now be expressed more fully. If elevation turns into a stage for personal triumph, it begins to work against its own purpose. What God gives for service should never be used for superiority. Staying humble does not mean diminishing what God has done. It means recognizing the source. Humility is clarity. It is the awareness that you did not manufacture this moment through willpower alone. Even your endurance was sustained by grace. Even your resilience was strengthened by mercy. Remembering this keeps gratitude alive and pride in check. Breakthrough can be disorienting. For a long time, you learned how to survive without affirmation. Suddenly, attention appears. Validation comes. Opportunities multiply. In these moments, humility becomes an anchor. It reminds you that the same God who lifted you is the one who steadied you when no one saw your effort. The posture you held in obscurity is the posture that will keep you grounded in visibility. Humility also protects relationships. When others see you rise, they may process complex emotions: joy, comparison, regret, confusion. You are not responsible for managing their feelings, but you are responsible for how you present yourself. Humility creates safety. It communicates that your elevation has not made you inaccessible or hardened. It allows others to witness God's work without feeling diminished by it. Giving God the glory is not a religious phrase. It is a lived orientation. It means your success points outward, not inward. It means you speak of what God has done with reverence, not entitlement. It means you understand that blessing carries responsibility. What you have received is not only for your benefit, it is meant to reflect God's character, His faithfulness, His patience, His timing. When your life becomes a testimony, it is no longer just about you. Others will watch how you handle success more closely than how you endured struggle. They will learn about God, not only through your words, but through your restraint, your kindness, and your integrity. Giving God the glory means letting your life quietly communicate that His ways are trustworthy, even when they are slow. True humility does not erase confidence, it refines it. You can stand firmly in what God has done without standing above others. You can acknowledge progress without weaponizing it. You can celebrate without performing triumph. This balance is evidence of maturity. It shows that you are not intoxicated by elevation, but entrusted with it. There is also a deeper freedom in humility. When you no longer need to prove that you were right, you are released from old narratives. You stop replaying moments where you were misunderstood. You stop waiting for apologies that may never come. Elevation becomes a forward movement rather than a backward glance. You are free to bless, to build, and to serve without carrying resentment disguised as success. God's glory is not magnified by loud declarations, but by consistent alignment. When your actions reflect gratitude, when your words carry gentleness, when your presence remains grounded, God's faithfulness becomes visible. People may not remember the details of your story, but they will remember how your elevation felt in the room with humility, with grace, with peace. In the end, breakthrough is not the finish line, it is a new beginning. How you walk in this new season matters. Do not gloat. Do not harden. Do not forget the hands that carried you when you were unseen. Stay humble, not because you are afraid of falling, but because you understand where your strength comes from. Let your success speak quietly. Let your gratitude speak loudly. Let your life reflect that what God gives, He gives with purpose. And let that purpose always point back to Him. Trusting God's timing is often the final lesson learned after a long season of waiting. Waiting reshapes perception. It strips away urgency, exposes false expectations, and forces a deeper reliance on something beyond control. When the next step finally becomes clear, it can feel sudden, but it is never rushed. What appears as a moment of revelation is actually the visible edge of years of invisible preparation. God does not delay without intention. What you interpreted as silence was not absence, it was construction. Timing in God's economy is not based on readiness of circumstances alone, but readiness of character. There are doors that cannot be opened until the one walking through them has been internally fortified. Had the transition come earlier, it might have satisfied desire, but fractured stability. The waiting was not punishment. It was alignment. It trained discernment, patience, and trust, qualities that cannot be rushed into existence. Now, as movement begins, you can step forward without desperation, because you are no longer trying to escape something. You are responding to a call. Embracing your new identity is not about erasing the past. It is about reinterpreting it. You are not who you were when you were surviving, reacting, or enduring. Those seasons shaped you, but they do not define you. God used every challenge, every delay, every moment of uncertainty as material. Nothing was wasted. The resilience you carry now was forged through experience, not theory. You learned how to stand when there was no guarantee of outcome. That strength is now part of who you are. New identity often feels unfamiliar at first. Growth creates distance between who you were and who you are becoming. Old patterns may no longer fit. Old labels may no longer apply. This can feel disorienting, even uncomfortable. But discomfort does not signal error. It signals expansion. You are stepping into a version of yourself that was prepared quietly, patiently, and intentionally. God has not only opened a new season around you, He has prepared one within you. Scripture often reminds us that calling unfolds for such a time as this. That phrase implies precision. You are not late. You are not early. You are here. The timing aligns not only with opportunity, but with maturity. You can now carry responsibility without losing peace. You can face challenge without losing identity. You can move forward without needing constant reassurance. This is evidence of growth. Walking in confidence does not mean eliminating fear entirely. It means refusing to let fear dictate direction. Confidence rooted in God is steady, not loud. It does not demand attention. It simply moves forward, trusting presence over outcome. When you walk into this new season, you do not walk alone. God's guidance does not end at the threshold. It accompanies you step by step. Confidence grows through obedience, not certainty. There may still be moments where the path ahead is not fully visible. Faith has never required full clarity, only willingness. God often reveals the next step rather than the entire map. This keeps the relationship alive. It ensures that trust remains active, not theoretical. As you walk, clarity follows movement. Assurance deepens through experience. Your past struggles now serve a different purpose. They are no longer weights you carry. They are references that remind you what you have survived and what God has already brought you through. They give you compassion for others and humility in success. They prevent arrogance and cultivate wisdom. You do not step into purpose unmarked. You step into it refined. Walking boldly does not mean rushing. It means acting without hesitation when direction is clear. It means no longer shrinking back out of habit. It means allowing yourself to occupy space without apology. Boldness in God is quiet strength, not aggression. It is the calm certainty that you are where you are meant to be, doing what you are meant to do at the time you are meant to do it. As this new season unfolds, resist the urge to constantly measure progress. Growth does not always announce itself. Trust the process you are in. Trust the God who led you here. The same faithfulness that sustained you in waiting will guide you in movement. You do not need to strive to prove readiness. You are already prepared. Let go of the version of yourself that was built only to survive. Honor it, but do not return to it. You are now being invited to live, to build, and to serve from wholeness rather than endurance. God's timing has positioned you not just to receive, but to steward what comes next with wisdom and grace. Step forward with trust. Embrace who you have become. Walk confidently, not because the path is easy, remember, but because you are not walking it alone. God's presence goes before you, walks beside you, and remains within you. This is not the end of waiting. It is the beginning of alignment, and you are ready. God is about to reveal His promises in your life. What was hidden is coming into view. What was delayed is now aligning. The silence you endured was not abandonment, it was preparation. And now, that season is closing. Vindication does not arrive as noise or spectacle. It arrives as clarity. You will recognize it not by how loudly it announces itself, but by how settled your spirit becomes when the next step appears. This is a season of divine favor, not favor that inflates the ego, but favor that stabilizes the calling. Confusion lifts, direction sharpens. You are no longer guessing, you are discerning. This moment is not about proving anything to anyone who doubted you. God does not vindicate His people to humiliate others. He vindicates to restore order, to confirm truth, and to release His servants into the work they were prepared for. You are stepping into a phase where what God spoke privately is beginning to take public form, not for attention, but for assignment. The favor arriving now is purposeful. It brings responsibility alongside blessing. and clarity alongside opportunity. As you move forward, humility is not optional. It is protective. Humility keeps you aligned when doors open quickly. Gratitude keeps your heart soft when recognition arrives. Remember where you came from, not with shame, but with reverence. The struggle taught you dependence. The waiting taught you discernment. The silence taught you how to hear God without distraction. Do not lose those lessons now that the pace is changing. Carry them with you. They will keep you grounded when momentum increases. Your victory is not just about personal relief. It is not only about answered prayers or restored hope. It is meant to serve others. God does not elevate without intention. What you have walked through gives you credibility, compassion, and wisdom. Your testimony will not be loud, but it will be steady. People will not be drawn to your success alone. They will be drawn to your peace, your integrity, and your consistency. Let your life quietly reflect God's faithfulness. Stay grateful in motion. Gratitude reminds you that nothing you have was self-generated. Every open door, every breakthrough, every moment of clarity is evidence of grace. When you keep God at the center, success will not change you. It will refine you. When praise comes, redirect it. When recognition follows, remain anchored. This is how purpose stays clean and effective. Now let us close with prayer. God, we thank you for this moment of alignment. We acknowledge that you are the author of every season, every transition, and every breakthrough. For the one listening now, we declare that your promises are coming to light, not by force, but by fulfillment. Where there was silence, release clarity. Where there was waiting, release movement. Where there was doubt, restore confidence rooted in you. We ask for continued favor, not favor for display, but favor for obedience. Guide their steps as they move into this next phase. Protect their heart from pride and their spirit from fear. Grant discernment in decision-making, patience in growth, and humility in success. Let their life reflect your goodness in ways that draw others closer to you. Strengthen them for what lies ahead. Guard their transitions. Establish their identity firmly in you so that no change in circumstance can shake their foundation. Use their journey as a testimony, not to elevate self, but to glorify you and serve others with wisdom and compassion. We trust you with what comes next. We surrender control and receive direction. May your will be done fully, clearly, and faithfully in their life. Amen. If you believe this is your moment, if you sense that this season of breakthrough is unfolding, comment Amen as an act of agreement and faith. Stay connected and remain attentive, because this is not the final word. This is the beginning of the next chapter. As you step forward from this moment, allow yourself to move with awareness rather than urgency. Breakthrough does not require haste to be real. Some of the most powerful shifts happen quietly without immediate evidence or validation. Trust that what God is establishing now will unfold with stability, not strain. You are not meant to outrun this season. You are meant to inhabit it fully. Let your decisions come from peace, not pressure. Let your actions reflect trust, not the need to prove that something has finally changed. There may still be moments when the old voice of doubt tries to resurface, reminding you of past delays or disappointments. When that happens, do not fight it aggressively. Simply acknowledge how far you have come. You are not standing where you once stood. Your perspective has widened. Your endurance has matured into wisdom. God has not only answered prayers, He has reshaped the one who prayed them. That inner transformation is the clearest sign that this new season is real. Be mindful of how you steward what is unfolding. Favor increases responsibility. Clarity requires obedience. When God reveals the next step, respond faithfully, even if it feels small. Destiny is rarely revealed all at once. It is built through consistent alignment with what is placed in front of you today. Faithfulness in the ordinary protects the extraordinary that is coming. Do not overlook what seems simple. God often uses it as the foundation for what is significant. As doors open, remain attentive to your inner life. Success should never cost you intimacy with God. Make space for stillness, even as activity increases. Return often to prayer, not only to ask, but to listen. Gratitude and humility are sustained through connection, not effort. The same God who carried you through the waiting desires to walk with you through the fulfillment. Relationship, not outcome, remains the priority. Remember also that growth may require release. Some relationships, habits, or environments may no longer align with who you are becoming. Letting go does not mean rejection. It means obedience. Trust that God will replace what is removed with what is necessary. You do not lose what you need. You are redirected toward what fits the next version of your calling. This season is not the finish line. It is a passage, a threshold, a beginning that builds upon everything that came before. Walk through it with reverence. Carry your story with humility. Let your life speak more than your words. When people ask what changed, you will not need elaborate explanations. Peace will be evident. Direction will be clear. Consistency will speak for itself. Hold on to this truth. God finishes what He starts. The promises being revealed now are not fragile ideas. They are established intentions. You are not imagining this shift. You are responding to it. Stay anchored. Stay grateful. Stay aligned. And when you look back on this moment in the future, you will recognize it not as a dramatic turning point, but as the quiet confirmation that everything you endured was leading somewhere meaningful. God was faithful then. He is faithful now. And He will remain faithful as you continue forward, step by step, season by season, fully guided and fully held.